Yes, welcome to the Jamaica Young Police channel. You know, we're at the channel, we're a group of law-abiding citizens who believe in the rule of law and the respect and rights of every citizens, but not those who do not subscribe to the same. As you can see, and you look on your LCD right now, you would see that it says Blackman guilty. Yes, he was convicted by Justice Bryan Sykes. Not that he wanted to, but he was forced by members of the social media, various platforms, especially Politics Watch, Evan Blake and Poetry, and the Advisor. So we'll continue the journey, with part 2. It is poverty in a rich man to despise the poor, and ignorance in a wise to despise the ignorant. Ignorance is an enemy, even to its owner. So a man ignorant, I'll leave him, His ignorance is an enemy to even him, who own the ignorance, You understand? Knowledge is a friend even to its haters. Ignorance hates knowledge because it is too pure. So you understand that. That's why people do not like truth, because the truth is too pure. And remember this, that I have always said to you, to each and every one of my viewers. If the truth shall kill them, let it kill them. Yes. If they shall die by the truth, let it kill them. And remember this, those who do not know the truth are fools, and those who know the truth and call it a lie are corrupted and criminal-minded people. Yes, for decades we at the Jamaica Young Police channel have seen, witnessed and heard how the PMP LGBTQ plus party happily promotes chaos, criminality, support criminals, finance criminality. They kept even welcome home party in Kingston, Eastern Kingston, for 2 of Jamaica's most wanted men back in the 1990s by the Jamaican LGBTQ plus government under the Prime Minister of PJ Patterson. Yes, they kept a celebration party for 2 men, George Flash and Anthony Brown, for killing Ted Ogilvy, a man who works for the Jamaican government and was a secretary, looking out for the people's money by not giving it to these criminals who weren't working. They were making crazy money back then for doing no work. It's called socialism. And we at the Jamaica Young Police and we do not subscribe to people getting paid and not working for it. You must work or provide some form of heavy work. Yeah, you're not supposed to get paid and you don't work. You must do something. You understand? So, there's the guy, PJ Patterson. PJ Patterson chooses the most wanted man over the Member of Parliament, Miss Edda Robinson. So right here to your left, you can see the Rear Admiral Donovan Bulby Bennett, who was Jamaica's most wanted man. So we refreshing your memory from part 1. Or we reach to this with Blackman, Andre Blackman Bryan, and the one Dan Gang, who was in which they, most of them were convicted. Not because Justice Bryan Sykes wanted to, but he was forced to. Yes, because we can see the attack that he attacked on the police and the witnesses. But now he's making a U-turn. But we soon delve into that. So we're gonna give you some background commentary from to noted Detective Leng and Detective Morgan. And these police officers all know bars or anyone. So we'll continue the journey. So that let's not forget who was giving us the gang. This gang called the Klansman Gang from Spanish Town, St. Catherine, who killed hundreds and hundreds of Jamaicans in pursuit of dominance of driving fear into the hearts of the Jamaican people, and was the poster child for extortion, desensitizing the people to be criminally minded and ignoring their conscience. Let's not forget, it is the PMP LGBTQ plus Prime Minister PJ Patterson, the black man, who gave us this gang and chooses Donovan Bulby Bennett over Member of Parliament Miss Edda Robinson. I am not making up stuff to get views. All I am doing is to educate my black brothers and sisters in Jamaica and in the diaspora and others around the world that the PNP LGBTQ plus party, along with the Godfather, Dr. Peter Phillips, had given us this gang as he allowed them to flourish by supporting them in every way he can think of, because he wanted the people of Spanish Town to become PNP LGBTQ plus supporters as the PNP LGBTQ plus Prime Minister. But then it wasn't a PNP LGBTQ plus party, it was a PNP party when Michael Manley was the Prime Minister. Did to the people of PN Avenue, Kingston 11, when they used Feathermap and Burry Boy to kill and chase out the people of their apartments, and the PNP LGBTQ plus people from my birthplace of Jonestown, Kingston 12, capture the people's houses, and they have lost their investments. They haven't received any compensation for the loss of property. So we continue the journey of giving you part 2 of the guilty verdict of Wandan gang from Spanish Town, St. Catherine, is led by Blackman Bryan. Remember that the PNP LGBTQ plus party, when they were the government under the leadership of Prime Minister PJ Patterson, that's the man in the black man in the middle. Yes, that man don't even like nothing black, although he's a black man. And as you can see, that's a former member of parliament and junior minister Kern Spencer, one of the biggest thief in Jamaica politics, thief and get away with it, arrested and charged, and the judge, she was behaving as if she was the defense attorney. Corrupt woman. We must not let these people get away. Shame them publicly, because if what we have, everything, somebody thieved the money and it lead back to Kern Spencer's and others. And this judge, she went on a tirade against the DPP, the Director of Public Prosecution, Miss Paula Llewellyn. But you know, if it was in America, they would have found something to arrest and charge this thieving judge for, because she a criminal, so yeah. Not because she's not convicted. Remember, you know, in Jamaica, the only place you don't have any convicted criminals working is in the police force. Because you have Isaac Buchanan, who's an officer of the court. So we don't know how many judges have criminal conviction and them clean it and turn them into judge. Because Isaac Buchanan convicted twice for drug dealing, international druggist. So let's not forget that. You understand? Remember, it's PJ Patterson appointed a man who has no law enforcement credential, training and experience as a police officer, and that's how the man Colonel Trevor Macmillan became Commissioner of Police. Imagine you visit the doctor because you are sick. Your problem require that a specialist who specializes in orthopedic is an appointee by the head of the medical department with no training, experience or certification in orthopedic surgery. The person responsible for your health, would you hire such a person to do the operation on you? You have orthopedic problem. This person has a certification, nothing. But because the head of the government, and it's a state-run, the hospital is a state-run agency. So because you know the groundsman affiliate with the government, them just appoint this man, say, I'm an orthopedic surgeon, and give him the job. Would you allow this man to operate on you? Well, if you say yes, you know that you know them like when you're ignorant in Jamaica. But I would not even hire him on them thing. I wouldn't even look at him. So I know for most people who can think, they would say this is a resounding no, because only a fool would allow someone who has no training, certification and experience to work for them, much less to operate on them. The PNP LGBTQ plus government, under the leadership of Prime Minister PJ Patterson, the black man who turned a civilian into a police officer as Commissioner of Police. Can you name any other jurisdiction ever to be given to a civilian as a law enforcement, and giving a civilian law enforcement powers without certification? Only in Jamaica, we give known criminals a job in the office of the Prime Minister of Jamaica, and give the most wanted man from the 1980s Jard Flash a government motorcycle. Imagine a man who had killed a government official, and when that criminal returned to Jamaica, that criminal got a big celebration party, treated like an hero, as if he returning from war, and he had conquered the opposing army for Jamaica, and that's how the PNP LGBTQ plus government under the Blackman PJ Patterson treated George Flash and Tony Brown, two known murderers. Yeah, so that's how it is in Jamaica. So only one single Gazette officer, the late SSP Noel Virgo, who was a staunch PNP LGBTQ plus supporter and activist, publicly denounced the appointment of Colonel Trevor McMillan. The others remain numb, silent, because it is their party and the government that was destroying the organization, and it was labeled as a corrupt police force by Prime Minister P.J. Patterson, who rightfully called the police force and its member corrupted because he should have been arrested and charged with corruption for the Shell waiver scandal and Iran sugar deal scandal. The police went along with their party dismantling the police force, and they said not a single word. So now I want you to listen to this Detective Morgan, going to tell you about this case with Justice Sykes, Chief Justice Bryan Sykes, and Detective Leng is going to tell you about his experience with this man and how he's shocked and surprised at the man's behavior. You watch, you listen, you decide.
So if the police was careless in angling the exhibit, there should be a penalty for it. And I make no apology for that. That is two senior detectives, rank of detective sergeant, they're supposed to be more careful and scrupulous to angle the exhibit. You can't kill sport exhibit. Especially in a serious case, a gang-related trial. A madman, you can't float that about that case. And sometimes you wonder if a corruption or incompetence are a combination of both. The damn place is so corrupt.
Good morning. Yes, positive thinkers. I'm back. I was, and last year for me, had so much problem last year. 3 deaths in my family. My mother, my aunt, and my son. Then I have a best friend who died, but, thank God I'm still here. So, yeah, man, concerning the Chief Justice, I knew him a long time from in the 80s when he was a clerk of the court down by Sutton Street with Mr. Courtney Orr. Yeah, man, and he grew, and then he was RM, then he was appointed High Court judge, and he was doing good all along. When he was just appointed a High Court judge, a Supreme Court judge, man, he was like the best. I tell you, man, he was like the best. And you know what I realized, believe it or not, when he was appointed Chief Justice by the now Prime Minister, Mr. Andrew Holness, is like everything started falling apart with the Chief Justice. Man, I had some case before him in the Western Regional Gun Court. Let me tell you, when that man started to drop sentence, you know what he did? When he tried all them gun court matter and find you guilty, he put a sentence here like on Friday. And let me tell you something, man. When that man a drop sentence on the Friday's court, if you drop a pin in there, you can hear echo. I tell you, man. Yo, play with people when you come on and sentence in the gun. I tell you that. Man, but what I realized though, man, from he was appointed Chief Justice, everything started falling apart. I noticed that with him. I tell you that. I never ever dream of the Chief Justice would have behaved in that manner. I remember all them other High Court judgment, how them did. You never go in the court and go put up all as a lawyer and go put up all foot on all bench and all this. They say take it down. He didn't take in a custody right away. I tell you, man, I say the man is different. It's like he's not even following the Constitution. For a man that was appointed as Chief Justice, the man not doing anything good. You know, see it. Boy, I tell you, right now, honestly, I feel say you well, man. wouldn't do a better job right now than him, honestly. He will, man. Anyway, you know, I tell you, man, but say go still, let us see what is going on. But I think at time we didn't change him, honestly. Because what he did with this case, I didn't want to describe it, honestly. You know, foolishness, man, foolishness. But you see, remember now, from this case started, some things that he's doing to this case and investigation and the evidence, you know, and release, you know. Remember, you know, that case, when the file was submitted, you know, they go through it with a fine teeth comb. I tell you, a fine teeth comb. And then they prosecute the men and put them before the court. I must say the DPP people them would have go through the case file, you know, man. And watch there. Boy, I mean, I tell you, well, you know, we see the outcome. Well, let me say, I wouldn't surprise if they release all them and them and saying if we go on road. But, you know, boy, I mean, I tell you, it's hard though. Rough, man. Rough. As a former police officer, man. I tell you. And detective too. Boy, you know. Come like you have to really sit down and plan some life and some people, you know. Although still, you know, I tell you still, you know, honestly, you know, the real investigating officer, the investigators, you know, them left the force, you know, and I think so they should have come back, you know, and teach detectives how to investigate case, you know, the evidence then convict the accused man from, you know, as bad as things may be, you know, when we talk about Reg Grant, Calvin Benjamin, John Gaz and them whole heap of other top detective there. Them no lose case. Them no lose no case because, yo, they go through a thing with a fine teeth comb. And we did rate them, man, they as bad as some of them may be. Some of them love fight against their own colleagues. Well, sometimes for good reason too, you know, because I work with, you know, most of them, and them never have no problem with it. Never, because I do my work. But boy, I tell you, I blame the police them still, honestly. Blame the police them. And as Morgan rightly say, everything where Morgan say like a while is true. Exhibit and something where you go tamper with. You know, tamper with exhibit evidence in a court. And when you tamper with evidence, you will lose your case. Exhibit or something where you know play with. You talk about chain of custody. Exhibit. Anywhere move go, you need to know. Anybody touch you need to know. If you give me a firearm, I got the lab and hand it over, I must play a part in giving evidence that I took the seal along with the forensic form to the lab, and they receive it and they give you a receipt, and you're going to be called upon to go to court. You cannot play with exhibit. You cannot play with exhibit. You know, so but however in that it's supposed to deal with it like how we deal with it like that. Yeah, in call the lawyers, you know, and them I call them not chamber or call them right there in the court, right? And that's there, so and whisper to them, you know, whatever the problem is or whatever you encounter. You can't talk them something like that court load like so to everybody. You know, see, we don't agree with that. Although the police them blunder. And may expect better from them still, you know, honestly, you know. I mean, no, I'm going to insult the jurors, or maybe the jury they say, "Sure, look here, that don't know nothing. That don't know nothing." But if they appeal a sentence, for example, if they sentence them and get them prison term, the lawyers on behalf of the accused men, they can appeal and they will win the appeal. I tell you, just by doing that. I tell you something, man. As a trained detective, I learn a lot. And let me tell you something. Only when you go to court and go on some detective courses, you can learn a lot of things. And as me say, there are some people in the JC, if them a stalwart detective, the old Reggie Grant and all them man, they are Calf Walker and all them man there. You know, when they come on to robberies and murders, you know, the man them good, then tie up every loose end, then cross every T and that every I, and that is missing from some of the police investigators that are now in the police force. Yo, can you imagine? Well on there.
Yes, to my loyal viewers and subscribers, you know, as you have listened to two learning Detective Morgan, one of the most noted detectives that we had back in the force, astute and meticulous investigator, Detective Inspector Leng was one of the most fearless, meticulous, hard-working police officer, committed and dedicated to keeping the Jamaican people safe, and he had spoken. Both men have said it best, but I can tell you, with Detective Leng, when he says that this man was appointed by the Prime Minister Andrew Holness. As I've said, you know, at this channel, we are not here about views, we're just here about facts. Yes, he was appointed by the Prime Minister, Prime Minister Andrew Holness. I'm just gonna be, you know, it is unlike me to be disrespectful to the leader of the country, you understand? Not because, you know, of personal feelings towards one, because of their, not because of them politics, because of their administration policy, especially when it come on to the young police, them who have, you know, who are being left out there to fend for themselves. You know, they are not being protected by the government. Andrew Holness, Prime Minister Andrew Holness appointed Chief Justice Bryan Sykes, not because he wanted to, but he was forced, or should I say blackmailed, by the judiciary, by the judges them, opposition leader Peter Phillips and the likes. Because that's why I'm a man, you know, I love to read, you know. If you people are watching right now and you reach this far, all you have to do, or you can contact me and I'll give you the information, because it's right there in the press. When the judges closed the court and they made it known to the government, if they did not install Chief Justice Bryan Sykes, they are not coming back to work. It's not like the Prime Minister was going to appoint somebody to become Chief Justice who did not ever have any certification, experience in and out of the court. It has to be someone with, it's not like how they just bring somebody from the army and turn them into police. So you see the difference with the judiciary and the police force. They were united together because they said, yes, Bryan Sykes been through the various discipline in the legal fraternity, representing the people of Jamaica as a arbiter, you know, dispenser of justice. So they stand for him and say, no, you cannot bring nobody. We know say election have consequences, but you have to respect us. This is our discipline, and you can't just put your friend over here because election have consequences. We are stand our ground, and if you do not give us Bryan Sykes, well, you have to find other people to replace us, because we are going to all quit. So they unite together. Unlike the police force, no. The police force is all politicians. Even if these judges are all PMP, I don't think all of them, you couldn't say 100% of the judges in Jamaica are PMP. Because there must be somebody who is leaning to the right then. But, you know, back then it was to the left. It's either to the left or more to the left. You understand? So this is part 2, and you hear it for yourself. So it's not, just a little correction right there. And we respect Brother Leng, because Brother Leng is a hard-working police officer. And we are bringing him on, and let him give you some experience and him thing. Because this is a man, where Jamaica Young Police Channel have a lot of respect for him. Because this man used to work in a boat community I used to live, Waterford, and he used to work at Linstead. So, yeah, man, so I have a lot of respect for him. And plus, in Westmoreland, Westmoreland is that's where my grandfather come from, you understand, Porter's Mountain. So, Jamaica Young Police Channel, out. Blessed love, man. Peace.